Hey guys, so this is Ryan. I'm here to show you guys some of the latest and greatest 2023 pieces that I've worked on, and I think these are my top 3 pieces that I've done. So come with me and I'll show it to you right now. It's a jumble right now, so this is just a grab bag full of stuff, but I'm gonna, maybe I should pull this out so you guys can see, they can see more. You can see it individually, because it looks like a mess right now. Okay, so this is probably one of my favorite pieces that I've done throughout the year. This here, all these pieces I'm going to show you started off either as a request, a commission request, or I just felt like drawing it one day. Like it just came to me and I had to start drawing. So this is it. This is my Loki piece. I had a lot of fun working on this one. This one just kind of came to me. Loki is one of my favorite characters. I like drawing him a lot, and you know, the inspiration came from this was, I'm not 100% sure where it came from, but it just basically came from me just thinking a lot, like, all right, what would be cool for Loki? So I'm thinking him on a throne, you know, because it fits his character. And then as I was thinking that, I was thinking, oh, what if he has elements of the Avengers around him? And I was like, oh, great, Thor's hammer is the first thing I thought about. So I just threw down Thor's hammer right here. And then eventually I threw down Iron Man's helmet, and then I was thinking, what can I put over here? And I wasn't 100% sure, and I was thinking maybe I can do something Hulk related, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, Captain America's shield. So then it just kind of popped into my head, and I just kind of threw it down there. And the last thing that came to me was the gauntlet. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna have his hand up there with the gauntlet, and I'm just gonna make it look like he tricked all of them, and he ended up, you know, defeating all of them, and he has elements from all the characters around him. And yeah, so this is it. This is basically the piece right here. This is just so you guys can see some of the top right here. See what's going on here all the way down to the bottom. It's a double page spread. Had a lot of fun working on this. And it's up for sale, so if you want it, just contact me and then we'll talk.
Yeah, so when you start an image like this, how much of it is you reacting to shapes, and like how much of it is you planning ahead versus you just kind of figuring it out as you go along?
When I'm drawing images like this, a huge percentage of this is not planned. I feel my way through it. It starts with a thought of Loki, a thought of the character, a thought of him in a setting. It's a combination of all three of those thoughts together. And while I'm thinking of all three of them, at the first time when I was thinking, I wasn't thinking, oh, I need these elements part of the throne. I didn't want this sort of movement in here. I had no idea I was going to draw, you know, these elements here at the bottom, his staff, anything. I wasn't even sure what outfit he was gonna wear. All I knew was I wanted to draw Loki, and I'm thinking of the character, and I'm thinking of the setting. What would the setting look like? And the energy that comes from that, the feeling that comes from that drives the rest of the pieces, drives the direction, how he's sitting, the expression on his face, where his foot ends up, where, you know, Thor's hammer ends up, with the rubble at the bottom, everything. It just comes from that thinking process. So my initial thought is I just want to draw Loki, and then as I'm drawing, as I put down my red pencil and I'm doing layouts, because I always start off with a red pencil. So when I'm doing my layouts, I'm thinking, where's the character on this entire page? And then I'm thinking about where's his arms and his legs in relation to his entire center mass. And once I kind of nail that down, the rest of it kind of comes into it. So I build from the center out. I always build from the head, the face, and the chest. That's where I build from. I build from that out. And so I'm not thinking arms, I'm not thinking legs, I'm just thinking center, chest, head, the angle of all of that. And then I'm thinking, okay, maybe his arm could look better here, maybe his arm would look better here, maybe his leg would look here, maybe his leg would look better here. And then the rest of it just kind of comes into. So it's kind of like I'm piecing it together like this as I'm going. So, and then when I get to a certain point, I'll look back at the first, second stage, and I'll make a decision on the overall piece. Is it working? Is it not working? That's when I pull out my giant eraser and I start erasing and start cleaning up. There are times I'll put it aside. I'll come back to it later in about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll make a decision. Is this something that still works? If it doesn't work, then I'll just completely erase everything and start over again. If it works, then I'll just keep moving forward.
Could you share your thoughts a bit about where the confidence to make an image from scratch kind of comes from?
So when I'm thinking of images from scratch, it's typically coming from, the elements that I expose myself to. I watch movies, or I'll listen to them more than I'll watch them. Watching them sort of kills time. It eats up a lot of time for me. So I prefer not to watch it, prefer to just listen. So I'll put on a movie or a TV show or something in the background, something that's gonna keep me motivated. And then I'll listen to it. So the audio that comes from that creates images in my head. And that's that's my pool of energy that I tap into. So I tap into that from the images that are coming to my head, and I just rely on my skills and technique to just unleash it on paper. And that's basically it. Yeah, so my skills and techniques definitely comes from years of drawing, years from failing, years from trying and succeeding and seeing what worked, what doesn't work, getting feedback from different audiences. I'll get back as an internal audience of, like I have a small inner circle of people that I'll get feedback from. That's like from my brother to other professional friends of mine who I consider brothers too. And then there's other people that I haven't seen in a while, but I'll send it out to them just to get some feedback from them. And then there's the audience, there's the major audience that I'll just put it out there. I'll get feedback from them, and based on what I see, it helps me depict, okay, where can I take the next one, or where can I take the next one after that, and just kind of push and pull. And then there's also the audience. The audience also consists of people that I meet at shows. So I'll go to shows, Comic-Con or wherever, and as I'm doing art demonstrations, drawing for people, and you can just see their reactions, and it helps me build that energy even more. So it helps me connect a little bit more, and I'll know, okay, I see where what people like, I see where I need to go with this, and I'll just keep working on that, keep improving. Okay, so this was one of my number one in my favorite piece, or I should say number three. Number three. This is number three in my favorite pieces of 2023, and I'm going to show you guys my number two. So this is probably my number two piece of 2022. Oh, did I say 2022? I meant 2023.
Yeah.
I'm going way back in time. So this is probably my second favorite piece of 2023 that I've worked on. I've worked on a lot of pieces for a lot of different people, and I love every single one of them. I think what makes it for me that makes me say, wow, okay, I think this is it, is when I come back and I look at it again, and I look at it again, and I look at it again, and I look at it again. It's that constant, every time I come back, I look at it, I feel like I'm looking at a brand new piece every single time, and the impact, I'm looking at everything from the composition to the angle, the anatomy, the characters, the detail, all the special effects. I'm looking at everything, and just the feeling I get from it. That's what helps me narrow things down to say, okay, this is probably, you know, my favorite piece or this or that, you know. In fact, I love all the pieces that I've worked on this year, because I learned that the person who I am today is different from the person who I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I've definitely improved in my skills, and I've gotten to the point where my confidence level is through the roof. So I feel like no matter if I make any mistakes, I can always correct it. And there are a lot of times I'm drawing and people might see it and they're like, oh man, this is amazing, I love this. And in my head, I'm like, I could have tweaked that ear a little bit, the eyeballs a little bit crooked. Oh, ooh, you know, the little oohs and ahs that comes out of it. All these things are in my head when I'm looking at my pieces. And out of these 3 pieces I'm showing you right now, there's not a lot of oohs and ahs that's coming out of it. It's mostly like, yes, I hit it. I hit the mark. I hit the mark every single time. So I think this is it. So this is like my number 2 piece right here. This is actually a girl. She ordered this one, so I'm about to mail this out to her. Her name is Stephanie, and this is going to be hers. It's going to be on her wall. So good luck, Stephanie. Take care of my art, please.
We also have a video where you go through the process of making it as well. Yes.
So I have a video on YouTube, so you guys can go check out the actual making of this piece right here.
So for this year, were there any particular things you were focusing on in terms of improving as an artist?
In terms of improving, I think where most of my improvement came from a lot of self-reflection. So what aided that self-reflection was the teaching that I've been doing. So when I'm teaching, I feel like when I'm seeing how other artists are doing it and I'm seeing their mistakes, and then when I'm correcting it, I'm also correcting myself. So I'm reinforcing what I know, what's in my head, and it's making it, I'm solidifying it, and it feels like, okay, that's it. This is it. I'm seeing exactly how someone else should see it, and it helps me lock it in. So I feel from here on out, every single piece I'm going to do, it has to be polished. It has to be perfect. It has to be in the upper echelon of artists that's out there. And if it's not, then I don't want to publish it. I don't want people to see it. And honestly, I feel like if I make a mistake, I don't shun from it. I roll with it and I'll correct it, because I'm that confident that I know I can fix these things. So you're not going to see a lot of mistakes coming from me from here on out. So any future work that I work on, it's going to be polished. It's going to be perfect. It's going to be on that level where I know as an artist, I know as an individual that I'm hitting the mark every single time. So that's how you have to get. That's where you have to get your mind in that set. Don't get lazy, and don't just finish it off just to get it done. You want to knock it out of the park so this is my number 2 piece. The inspiration for this came from an email that said, hey, I want a Batman with a Joker and a Harley. And it said they wanted Batman crashing through some windows. So I'm like, okay, great. So bam, instantly, I already knew. Once I saw that, I read it, I already knew in my head the angle of Batman, where I didn't know where Joker and Harley was going to go, but I knew the angle for Batman. I knew that already. So I just started drawing. Once I started drawing I put all my focus in on Batman over here. So I started drawing, and I wanted his energy to come from this direction and go over here in this bottom corner. So all I did was just drew this standard traditional Batman pose. And then once I had that down, all I did was, okay, now I had this one area where I had to fill in with the Joker and the Harley over here in this corner. So I'm thinking, what can I do for this? So automatically, I'm relying on my layout practices, the stuff I've learned through college, how to do layout and composition. And it's at the point where I don't think about it anymore. It just kind of comes out of me when I'm drawing. So I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at Joker and Harley, and I just started drawing. I'm looking at the angle, and I'm thinking, okay, I want the certain angle in the background, and based on that angle I started to draw. I started to quickly lay out the chair, Joker. Harley was the hardest one. It wasn't really hard, but it was the one that took the longest, because I drew her probably a couple times, because I had to draw her out and get a feeling, because she had to sit on this edge, and I didn't want her to fall over or open up to this bottom corner. I wanted to open up towards Batman to draw attention back into this area. So I had to force her to look in that direction. So I had to figure out, okay, where can I put her arms? Where can I put, you know, her upper chest, where she's gonna sit, where's the weight of her body gonna be, you know. Then I had to think about her weapon. Where's this gonna go? I was gonna draw it behind her, and I was like, no, I don't want to draw it behind her, because you need to see it. So I had to see. So all these thoughts are going through my head as I'm drawing. So that's why I say it was harder. It wasn't really harder. It was just I'm constantly changing and constantly adapting, constantly fixing and adjusting as I'm going. So I finally got it to this point where I think I know where it needed to go, and I'm pretty sure I nailed it. And now this is the piece right here. So I'm getting ready to show you guys my number one. But we'll be back after these commercials.
Hey guys, if you're interested in learning from Ryan, he just put a tutorial going through the fundamentals of drawing up on Proko.com. In it, he teaches the skills that he uses every day as a professional artist. The course has about 1 hour of lectures and 3 hours total of unnarrated demos. There are also assignments and exercises you can do to improve your craft. If you'd be interested in learning more, check out the link in the description. Thanks, and back to the video.
Buy this tutorial. Buy our shit.
Here it is. Ready? You ready? You ready to see this? Okay, so I'm gonna show you this because it's kind of big. All right. So this one here is the first half of this piece. Okay, this is the first half. Now, there's a huge story behind this, and I didn't get permission from the commissioner, so I won't use his name. I'll just speak in generalities. Okay. So basically, I started off with this Batman piece. This Batman piece was originally supposed to be like this. It was really supposed to be a one-shot commission piece of Batman holding swords in, you know, in the samurai, the Batman samurai design. So as I'm thinking this, I'm drawing this out. And I showed this. I wasn't even finished. I showed this to the commissioner, and the commissioner said, "No, that's not what I wanted." He said he gave me an option. It was either I draw this Batman or I draw a Catwoman, and then there was one more. I can't remember which it was, and I ended up drawing him the Catwoman. And I thought he wanted all three of them, so I started to draw this one here. And he was like, "No, I just wanted one." So I was like, "Okay, I'll hold on to this one, and I'll just keep drawing it." And so I told him, well, what should I draw on there? What else can I add to it? And then he was like, "Hey, why don't you just draw the Joker on there, and then, you know, you just keep expanding." So I decided, okay, so I'm going to draw Joker on it. Then as I'm drawing that, I told myself, you know what? I'm going to do more than that, because I'm feeling this. I'm really feeling this. So I decided I'm going to expand it. So I started drawing Robin over here on the sides like that, and then I didn't want to stop, so I just kept going, and I started to draw Batgirl over here on the sides. And this piece is pretty big because it's 4 pages long, so it's a 4-page spread, and it turned out to be this piece right here. So this is a slow roll that you're gonna get of the piece. giant 4-pager. This is probably my #1 piece that I've worked on in 2023. And as you can see, this is it. So, started off with Batman, went over and did a Joker, did Robin, then I finished off with Batgirl, and I decided I'm going to change the design. So it's not one-to-one exactly what was in the animation, but it's basically just my version of it, my take on, you know, the really cool animation we saw that came out of Japan, which is freaking awesome, and I love it, you know. But yeah, so this is it. This is my #1 piece right here. This is it live. If you can only feel it like I can feel it. One day someone's gonna own this. Someone on the planet is gonna own this, and then they're gonna look at this and as they put it up on their wall. And it can be yours if the price is right.
$1 billion.
I feel like I'm making those CSI, those corny CSI slogans, whatever it is.
One question. So, would you say that teaching in general is something you'd recommend for aspiring artists to hone their skills?
I think teaching is sharing. And sharing is a huge part of art. Art is not meant to be in a box. Art is not meant to be it's not meant to be on an island. It's not meant to be locked in a vault or stored inside your brain only. You have to share art. You have to get it out there. It's the nature of what it is. So for me, teaching, it definitely helped me reinforce my skills. So it helped me look at what I was doing and how I approach certain things, and it helped me solidify it a little bit more. So now it's not just, oh, I'm just drawing. Now it's not, I'm drawing with confidence, because if I'm going to teach this to someone, I better be right. So I've been thinking about that a lot, and definitely teaching has definitely helped me improve my skills, and it helps me see things from a different perspective. So I'm not just as a client, you know, creating art for whoever is out there. Now I'm actually showing other people how to do it, how to create art for. So I had a great year this year. 2023 was amazing. You know, a lot of ups and downs. This is a path of any person on this planet, especially an artist, because art is very emotional and you have to get involved with it, and emotions go up and down, up and down. So for me, just having too much fun drawing is a blessing, and I do this every single day. I have too much fun drawing. So if you want to get good at it, you can have fun too. And I think that's what it is, you know, as you improve in your skills and you get better at it, you start to see the fun side, you start to see more of the fun side of it. Because you get to see, you have to draw it, look at it, put it away, come back to it, and then you get the feeling from it, you know. And that's one of the things I really, really love about drawing. So 2023 is amazing. And as a closeout, I will see you guys in 2024, because I have a lot more art I gotta do. So see ya.